And Fred Gregory who's going to be coming up. So we're going to be dealing with that. To hell with the naysayers. You got to stay focused.
Stop caring.
Stop caring so much about the haters, man. You can't do that, man. Do I look like a bother? Do I look like I'm bothered? You gotta be ready, man. You deal with your life, man. It's one of those things. I got you ready. I got you. Working out. Feeling good. Are you right? Body you tight. It's gonna be a big show. Baby.
Yeah. Here we go.
Pleasant, good afternoon, Virgin Islanders. It's always a pleasure to be here to discuss the pertinent issues that affect the territory as we find ways and means to try to discuss to address the challenges that we're faced. But with no further ado, I want to bring in former Senator uh, Donna Fred Gregory to talk about some of her initiatives and her reading initiative that she's promoting around the territory. So I want to welcome her into the discussion. Welcome, Donna Fred Gregory. Pleasant good afternoon, Donna Fred Gregory.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Afternoon.
Welcome, and it's a pleasure to have you on our radio program today to discuss some of the initiatives that you're doing in terms of reading here in the territory. So go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about what you're doing.
All right. Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Donna Fred Gregory, former senator. I'm now serving as the executive director for the DFG Community Impact Foundation of the Virgin Islands. And this month is National Book Month, and we have a huge initiative throughout the territory where we have volunteers that are going out to all the schools in the territory to read to the pre-kindergarten through third graders in the Virgin Islands. We all know that we've long talked about the importance of, let me just first say, Michael, I want to thank you for this opportunity to be here on your program this afternoon.
And we appreciate you coming on the program to spread the wealth of knowledge in terms of what you're doing across the territory. So we want to thank you.
Thank you. So I started to say that we know that we've long talked about our children reading on grade level, and we continue to struggle with that. And we recognize that in order for us to ensure that we are able to move the needle on reading in the territory and comprehension in the territory, it is important that we bring awareness around it. And we should not only talk about this during the month of October, but this should be something that we are intentional about as Virgin Islanders, as we raise our children. And this is not only for children, it's also for our adults. We have to pick up the paper. Well, information in the paper may not necessarily be true all the time, but we don't believe in it. We still should read because it brings awareness. We need to bring books in our classrooms, and we need to ensure that our children are reading on a daily basis. In the home, we need to ensure that parents understand the importance of reading and the importance of their children reading. So, we need to put down the games, the handheld games, and take 15, 20 minutes out of the day to read. When your kids come home in the evening, you need to take time out for them to read. And it cannot be just in the month of October for National Book Month. This needs to be a part of what we do as Virgin Islanders. We need to promote literacy in the territory to ensure that, we are able to move the needle. We continue to talk about workforce development and the importance of us developing our workforce. But in order for us to truly do that, we can't talk about it. We have to be about it. And one of the ways of being about it is to ensure that there's literacy. And we are not, this initiative is not promoting numeracy, but numeracy is also a very important part of our community. So as our children do math problems, it's important for them to be able to read in order to be able to get those problems done. So these things go hand in hand. So as Virgin Islanders, as leaders in the territory, as parents, as government officials, as private sector individuals, we must be intentional about reading in the Virgin Islands. and ensuring that our young people we are able to move the needle on how we read and comprehend the territory.
Senator, how do we move forward with this movement to aggressively get our young individuals, tackle them from kindergarten to third grade? Those are the folks that we need to get involved with reading and because the literacy level is obviously is a challenge at this particular time. What are some of your ideas?
We not only focus on our kindergarten to third graders, because we also have some that we've lost in the process. So this needs to be a well-rounded initiative. And one of the things that we have to do is be intentional about looking at our libraries in the Virgin Islands.
Exactly.
We know that our libraries have not been funded to the extent that they should be funded. We should be beginning to have conversations about public-private partnerships when it comes to our library. We should be having events on the weekends around our library. Our libraries need to be open, not only in the morning, but when school is done, in the evening. We have to figure out what that system is, that we structure rather, that we can put in place to ensure that we are able to see the doors of our libraries open in the Virgin Islands. And like I said before, we can't talk about it anymore. We have to be about this mission in order to ensure that we have a workforce in the Virgin Islands that is really an effective workforce. We have our economic development programs, we have the ARCI program. Our Virgin Islanders need to be able to qualify to be hired in those programs. This has to be about us and only about us, about our resources, our revenue, and about our human capital.
Anything going on in the school, Senator, in terms of what you're promoting?
Absolutely. When you say in the schools, you mean what the schools are doing or what we're doing?
What you guys are doing, or what?
Oh, yes. So we are going into the schools. We've been into every single public school in the St. Thomas St. John district thus far. And we have volunteers have come in and we've read to the kindergarten to third grade classes. One of the other things that we've done, we've sent home materials to the parents to promote literacy in the home as well. Like I said before, it's important that we make sure that it not only happens in the schools, but all of us across this territory have to be accountable. We started this with St. Croix last week. We did Pearl Lawson, we did the Montessori School, and this week coming, we're heading out to Claro Marco, Eula Rivera, Ricardo Richards, and we have a few schools who did not respond in St. Croix, but we're still working on them. So this is an initiative that we are very serious about, and we want to continue the work. I know that the Division of Libraries have been very supportive of what we're doing, and they have provided some support with the volunteers as well. But we are still urging folks to, if they're interested, to look at our Facebook page, BFG Community Foundation, and sign up to volunteer, particularly in the St. Croix district, so we can. I mean, we've had a lot of. I'll be honest with you. Most of our responses that have been positive is in fact coming out of the St. Croix district as far as individuals who are interested and willing to volunteer their time for an hour to do this. It really don't take a lot of you to do it.
And to interject, Miss Amy over at the Florence Williams Library here in St. Croix, she's been doing a fantastic job in terms of how she's been trying to promote reading and also getting the young people to come out and check out books. I remember as a little kid, my mom used to work at the library in Christiansted, and every time I come out of St. Mary's School, I come over there and I read and I check out books and all of that stuff there. And that was a big thing. And I have my daughter that I take over to the library on Fridays and we check out books and she go reading and do her thing.
And that's what's important. That's important because I remember growing up as a child, when we came from school in the afternoon, we would walk, to the library, we would do our homework, we would read, we would do whatever it is. But we need to get back to that place where we are, whatever way that is that we are doing this, it is important that we promote literacy in this Virgin Islands.
Yes.
That's truly one of the only ways we're going to be able to move the needle on our ability to improve and increase our workforce in a meaningful way and give our people, true opportunities to serve the positions that are that they are interested in serving in.
Senator, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity because a lot of our former elected officials, when they check out and they go about their business, they don't play an active role in the community. And what you are doing is very commendable in terms of staying active and doing what you're doing in terms of community engagement and what you're doing is priceless and this is type of leadership that we need here in this community. And your closing thoughts?
Well, let me just share with you before I close.
Go ahead.
The BFC Community Foundation has been around for 5 years. We're moving into our 6th year. When I became a senator in 2019, I recognized that there were folks calling our offices to support different events, different activities, scholarships, children traveling. And in 2019, we formed the DFC. In 2020, we formed the DFC Community Impact Foundation to do just that. And since then, we have given away over $8,000 scholarships to students in the territory. And we have a signature program called the Kids Kitchen Program. In the summertime, what we do is we provide hot meals to children in the housing community. So every Saturday until school reopens, one school closes, and until school reopens, we provide a hot meal in the various housing communities. So every Saturday, our volunteers will go out from, I think it's about 11:30 to 2 o'clock, and we serve hot meals in those communities. The kids come out, we play hula hoop, we have a really good time.
Yes, that's back to
And
this.
that's a program that I am super proud of.
That's great.
It's actually a program that came about as a result of a millennial. It was her
Yes,
idea, and we
yes.
took it on, and it's just a program that has grown exponentially over the past, 5 years. We've served over 2,500 meals to students.
Amy is watching us live. The director of libraries. She's here and she's commending you. Anything you want to tell her from the library here in St. Croix?
Well, Amy knows that I got her back. I got the back of the libraries. I believe that, like I said earlier, that we have to promote literacy and we have to figure out how to keep the doors of our libraries open and ensure that there is engagement. And when I say engagement, I mean Saturday engagement.
Yeah.
We should be able to bring our babies, our children out to the library to read.
Yeah.
And we have some amazing bookstores here in the Virgin Islands. There's one in St. Croix called Undercover Bookstore.
Yes, right here downstairs of the studio. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I love that bookstore. So
yes,
we have to encourage our community to visit our bookstores to support them. And the one thing I didn't say is one of the things that we're doing. We have an abundance of local authors who have written children's books, and that's what we're doing.
And we got to promote them, Senator. We got to promote them. These local authors here.
We are reading the books by local authors. We have some young people that have written books, and that's what we're doing. We're really promoting these young people and encouraging and letting children know in the territory, youth know that they too can write stories. So that's all we've been reading, books on local authors, because it's about us. It's about our people.
Yes. So your closing thoughts?
I want to thank you for the opportunity. And again, literacy is important to the Virgin Islands. Literacy is important to us. And we cannot and should not only promote literacy during the month of October. We should promote literacy in our homes, in our communities, every single day of the year. So literacy is important to us, and let's make sure that we are intentional about ensuring that we focus on making sure that there is literacy and there's a level of comprehension around literacy in the territory.
And Senator, I want to commend you. You're a phenomenal woman in terms of continue to be engaged in terms of your community and the territory and what you're doing. And I feel remiss if I didn't commend you and having you on the program here to talk about what you're doing in the community. And we want to once again thank you again, Ms. Donna Fred. You're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you. And Miss Amy, thank you, Miss Amy, and what you're doing over there at the library. We think you're doing a phenomenal, I am going jet setting right now. I'm going to be out the territory, and you're going to have this phenomenal individual who's going to take over the program, and he's going to talk about issues in the territory here that he feels that he want to talk about, and that's going to be a great thing. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Coach Foy in the house.
Yes, good afternoon, good afternoon. I'd like to thank Springer for affording me the opportunity to come on the show, to hold his show today. You know, there's so much I think to speak about. As he said, he going to catch the plane. Well, I'm right behind him because, you know, I continue to travel into the world and enjoy life. Definitely, there's so much thing to talk about. You know, I also have in the studio with me my daughter, who is here visiting, and based on her, based on her experience in the States. No, not all over the world. She travel like me up and down. She young. I tell her do it when you're young. When you get old and you're crippled, you can't move around like when you're young. So I bring her in the studio with me today. You know, she been here eating all kind of local food, saltfish and dumpling, peas, soup, cream of wheat, pate, saltfish pate, beef pate, you name it. She been, that's how she been sluxing down. You know, I got to use the heavy word, sluxing down. Yes, well, I got a couple, about 35 minutes left on the show, and it's my pleasure being here. Last night, let me speak about last night. You know, uh, let me introduce my daughter first. Her name is Crystal. You know, she writes some great poetry. And she represent the VI big. She loved the VI, but she didn't want to come back home because when she sees the situation like the other day, she telling me about coming back home. Daddy, my light bill ain't past $60. Well, she can't come back home live here because when she get a $400, $800 light bill, she gonna pull her hair out and probably go crazy. So that's, I call them, she the Gen Z. Those are the ones that gonna overrun us. All my age, people in the age bracket, all the dirty, conniving, deceitful people, the Gen Z gonna raise up, and the Gen Z in the Virgin Islands gonna run us over. And ain't nothing we could do because they're gonna say we afford you to do the right thing, and all you do is sell the country for a chosen few, a clique, a clan. And you know, I had the opportunity to see this. I don't know if it's true or not, but the thing with Royal Caribbean, the thing that sent out, and how the guy was talking about it, there's a video going around, and here we go again. If everything mightn't be true, but then it's for the people them to come out and educate and advise the public. The first impression is the last impression. If you let rumor go around and you don't correct it, that means it's true. Everybody looking out to get their hand grease and to help with what people say. Me care what them say. They could say what they want. That's the mentality at the Virgin Islands. The people don't want to fix nothing. The problem is the people, the majority of the people, not all. The majority of these people is low life. All they want to do is get rich. And me see nobody. I went to a numerous funeral. I see funeral in Africa. That's where I learned that if you're 65 or older, they don't wear black and white. They wear black and red if you're under 65. And I ain't seen no horse went into no funeral yet behind the dead. So all this wealthy set of deceitful people selling the country out for, their great grandchildren and their family that left after them pass on is who gonna catch hell on master plantation, you know. We gonna be dead and gone. Last night I went to the Calypso show. Big up to all who put it on. It was awesome, people. Before I start beating some of these set of deceitful gangsters, I got to applaud Darby for taking the mic and explaining about the tourism people. And I sit there in awe. When I know they could bring in people and pay them $200,000 and $250,000, and they're paying them half the money before they reach. And Darby explained that they insulted him They only give, he said he want 50,000, they only put 4,000 in an envelope and give him. He said so himself, not me. If you were today, you would have heard it. But these people gain our money left and right. We give 5 million to our host, our carnival in Japan. We give 10 million to our sports team. These people is, and these people in Virgin Island, you know. And Dobby were calling them by name. I applaud them for that. So nobody in walk away guessing who these come is. And I tell here people, oh, I don't want to radio and call people name. Why you want me call them? Mr. Nice Guy, the pastor? No, it ain't gonna work. The Calypso show was off the chain, people. Off the chain, and they said they're coming back in December. I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground so I could let the people know what's going on. The next thing, I went yesterday to the relay, the walk they had human service yesterday afternoon in West. It was well attended. Big up to whoever put it on again. You know, I walked down from Claudio Marco down by the park. I thought they were gonna walk back up. So you know me, I park my car by Claudio Marco. I don't know why I thinking that these people don't walk back up, you know. When some of them might dead just to walk down. I can't figure out what I thinking, and that I think these people we're gonna walk back up. So when I go in, they said, no. Somebody started telling me, we got our friend guy jeep down the park up here and carry us back up in this one. Say, the company car truck down there, we're gonna drive back up them who can walk up. And I realized, oh heck, I should have parked up down. If I walk back up, this man putting a big walk with firewalker. Big up to all the firewalkers out there. Every Saturday morning, we start at 5 o'clock. I forget when this week, next weekend coming, gonna be I look over the thing too good, but we walk from complex this morning. It was an awesome walk. Enough respect, but I just hear my good friend Dana Fred Gregory on the radio talking about the libraries and reading and stuff. And it hit a nail on the head. I had my grandson, he's 7 years old. He said, Grandpa, I could read, you know. My first grade teacher teach me to read. I want you to take me to the bookstore in town. I didn't even know he had a bookstore in town. My little grandson said that Grandpa got a bookstore in town. I need you to take me there. So I take you to basketball practice. When I leave here, I got to go pick you up. And I think I'm going to take you to the bookstore this afternoon. But it's nice. You got to read. When you go out, you got a sign on the highway. You're driving, it says, not an exit. And you swear you read it to the exit because you can't read and you will kill somebody. It said no right turn. And then you make a right turn, no left turn. Yeah, you got to read. But, you know, as I say, I don't know if the library are going to open past 5 o'clock, if they change the schedule and bring in the people in from like maybe 10 to 1 to 9 or something like that. But I know before the library used to open 8 and close at 5. So when the training come home and I got to go do homework, and nobody could see to change that. I hope it changed. I don't know, you know, because really I don't be in the library like that, around the library no more like that. But I hope that they change it because there's no way the library should close at 5 o'clock when school open. But school done 1 o'clock now, they need to go. I was shocked. The other day I see the bus drop now some student after 1. And I like, wait, school done? They say, yeah, you know you got done. Why you ain't done in 3 o'clock? What wrong with my people? That means that all children, that's a wheel breaker. That means that all children ain't getting the full educational, what the law say. Hello, the law. We's a lawless place. All right, my daughter look like she wants to chime in. You could come right in.
Good afternoon. I just want to chime in and say I feel like the topic of education is taken way too lightly because even talking about reading isn't just being able to read the words. There needs to be a level of comprehension. And at this point, the world is getting more and more integrated. The global market is a reality. And we're not setting up our young people to be successful on a global scale. There isn't just leaving home and going to the US anymore. There is a whole world to attack, and the US itself is already behind the learning curve compared to a lot of other countries. So we're doing ourselves a greater disservice. We're behind the learning curve of the US, and the US is behind the learning curve of the rest of the world. That don't make no sense. It don't make no sense that kids now can't tell me national flower, national bird. I feel like some of them don't know the national anthem of the USVI. They don't know it. They don't sing it. They don't know the lyrics. And I think that's sad because it's like, how can you go out into the world and be prepared if you barely know where you're coming from?
If you want to chime in, you go call 340-773-0390 or 340-773-0490.
And I also think it's the responsibility of adults. Even last night, the Calypso thing we went to, I bring my friend with me. They were like, I don't understand Calypso music. And I start talking about the history of Calypso music, the storytelling of Calypso music. I feel like we've given up on making children interested by just assuming they don't care about the culture. But it's like, how would they know if we don't educate them about it? A lot of people don't understand the depth of the history of things like Calypso, Kwelde, what's the last, Bambula?
Because they were never educated.
But
They were never taught.
I've also seen people just say, "Oh, the kids don't care about them type of things, so me gonna waste my time." But it's like it's not a waste of time. At least give them the opportunity to hear about it. I think we are giving up long before we need to, and it has ripple effects. We're not setting up the next generation for success. And also, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. I feel like that's a concept that I hope more people could really understand because we're seeing the effects today, right? We're seeing the effects that it have when people don't educate themselves about the policies that governments are trying to pass. They're just taking what news outlets are feeding them without actually reading themselves and comprehending what exactly does this bill mean? How does this impact me? How does this impact the people around me? And the next generation isn't going to be prepared for those types of situations if we are so far behind the educational curve. How are we going to make new world leaders if we're not setting them up to have an understanding of those great people that came before them? I feel like it really starts with educating about home. There's so much pride to take in being from the Virgin Islands. That's something I've always taken with me and could stand up in any room and talk about. But that's because I have had a family and people around me who have poured into me to value education, to value where I'm from, to value taking the time to learn my own history. The same way my nephew is so excited to go to the bookstore. Why don't we see that light in more kids? It's because we're not surrounding them with that type of encouragement. We're not leading by example. If he could come home and see my father home reading documents and reading this and talking about it, that makes him want to read. And I think people don't think they have great impacts on the kids around them, but they are watching us. And we do need to set an example of like, this is how to be great, right? If I just on my phone every day, I don't want to be bothered, I don't want my nephew to talk to me, that's the same type of attitude they are going to take as well. So if I don't care about my own history and culture, how can I expect the kids to care? I also want to put out there, I think a lot of great work is being done to cultivate our culture. Oh, somebody calling.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show.
Pleasant good afternoon. We have a guest?
Yes, my daughter is my guest today.
Okay.
She's here talking about the VA history, the culture, the music. She went to the Calypso show last night. She's a diehard Virgin Islander, travel the world like her father, and she just in her 20s. And
I was doing a short Calypso show last night.
I saw you there recording. I had a ball myself. It was awesome. I invite my daughter. She bring a friend and she was here telling the people them her friend don't even say her young. This is a young individual don't even understand the music.
Well, you're talking about the young people. I invited someone older than me, and he said he wasn't interested because he didn't want to mingle with young people. And I'm like, are you kidding? It's Calypso.
Right? He really misjudged.
I know, it's Calypso.
It's Calypso, baby. Come out and enjoy yourself. And it was an awesome, awesome, awesome show. Enough respect to put it up.
People, the young people, we the ones have to preserve the culture. The culture is not, we're not losing culture. What is happening is we are mixing culture because this is a diverse
That's right. That's
So
right.
you got people from different backgrounds, and it's a factory here, a blend of various cultures. But to maintain our tradition and customs, we have to show the young people that we value these traditions and customs, and support these kinds of events. Go out and promote the Virgin Islands. I always say it's a rich history, vibrant culture, and intriguing heritage, and I do my part. But I am disappointed with the Sixth Constitutional Convention. I'm trying to find out something. Did the legislature grant an extension of time and money?
I don't know. I ain't following that. I really caught up with all of that stuff.
Because that's all part of it. There was a section in there that said drop about culture. And there's a
What?
discussion about changing the flag, redesigning it, because according to some people,
Listen,
I'm kind of neutral on it. I'm on the fence with this one. I don't know about getting a new flag. But some people feel it doesn't represent our culture, and it says it wasn't created.
wait. Excuse me. What is our culture when we can't teach our history in school for 40 years? We in court fighting that. What is our culture when they pass a law to teach swimming in the school and we ain't teach one child to swim yet? When they pass a law for agriculture to be in the school and we ain't got no school with an agriculture program from maybe kindergarten up. What culture we got? Which culture we got now?
Well, somebody could decide.
Up to last
What is
night,
Virgin Island culture?
a guy was asking me something about history. He said about 5 when we went to school, we had VA history in school. I said how long that was. I said they fighting that in court is the law. We got to be a lawless place. Is the law. If I go out, the law say I can't stop a man, I can't stop a man. And I stop the man, they're gonna lock me up. They're gonna carry me in front of the judge, and the judge gonna say, Mr. Fire, you violated the law. This is the penalty for violating the law. So why all history in court for 40 years? In the judging tell education, look, it's the law. Go and implement the law, I'm gonna fine you. Make it simple. It's the law. It's the law.
Well, the judge made a decision on that, and I respect the decision of the judge.
Uh-huh.
The judge is, according to what I heard, is saying you have to produce evidence to prove your case. And, the plaintiff has the burden of proof. Now, whether it is being taught based according to the law, I think if it's not happening based on the law as is written, I think all the powers to be, the stakeholders, Board of Education, Department of Education.
No. They should disband the Board of Education. Disband it. Disband the WAPA board. Disband them. I don't want to even hear about Board of Education. There's a way. Listen, I'm sorry I ain't got the paper in front of me to read off their responsibility. What they should be doing. They ain't doing nothing. Nothing. I say.
But this is what I'm saying.
Disband them.
They need to respect the people and provide the information and tell us if, because they're the defendant, the plaintiff has to provide the burden of proof. However, I am saying, let's switch the responsibility just to the public and come out and tell us how are they meeting the mandate. And if the mandate,
right, I agree. I agree with you. I agree.
Then tell us why not. Because the way the law is written, I'll be honest with you, it's problematic.
Okay.
It's problematic.
I researched the law. But listen.
Courses in elementary.
Well, you needed someplace. And I disappointed in my people for not teaching. Oh, wow.
I want to be state taught. And I've been advocating for this so hard meeting to address this matter. But we're going to forever have this ongoing debate.
But as I said, not to cut you off, I see school still out in 1 o'clock. What is the hurricane done long time ago, COVID done long time ago. The other day I see the bus stop in front of me. I like, what did you try and get they said about school out? I said, oh, ain't 3 o'clock yet. What is the people doing to our young people?
But the ones that want to come out at 4.
What's it?
7:45 and come out at 4.
Oh, okay. Because they were education complex student. I saw. And it was 1 o'clock. So I don't know. I just
We
asking.
need equity in education because some look like they're getting more than others, and all public school students should work equal.
Yes, time. I agree. I agree.
Anyway, well, thank you.
No problem. Yeah, same to you. Yeah, that's it's crazy. As I tell people, incoming call on line 1. Good afternoon. Welcome to the WSTX.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mary. Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon.
I'm here with my beautiful daughter today. Yes.
I'm calling, first of all, to give you the accurate information. It is because of the heat that, remember last school year, and they're doing again this school year, that complex and central are on that abbreviated schedule where they leave the dismiss at 1 o'clock. Now, I have sent an email out to make the commissioner aware that the weather has changed, and come then first week in November, I hope that they will go back to the regular 3 o'clock dismissal because it should be a little cooler. But I have been told that the problem is they have not completed the installation of the ACs in the complex classrooms, which was supposed to be ongoing because the job got interrupted because of lack of payment to the contractor. Okay. We have the problem where we have that bureau that was established that is under the office of the governor, but I don't know whether they don't use the money elsewhere or what. The complaint is the governor is not releasing the money, so the bureau work is sort of hamstrung. I also called to let you know because she gave a presentation this past week to the Alfredo Andrews PTO, and I'm speaking of the territorial director of libraries. I'm sorry that I can't remember her name, so it's been strange for me.
Yeah.
And I addressed the lady concerning the opening of the library because from the time way back, I don't know if you remember when Donald Cole was director of library. I went when he first presented Upper Florence Williams Library to specifically ask for an extended period of opening at least once or twice a week, okay, so that the school children would have the opportunity for proper use. And he has told me, yes, it never happened. Well, I addressed it with this lady the other night because the hours are 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I'm telling them when you have students who are very active, they have after school program or they have sports, football, whatever, whatever sport. By the time they get finished, at 6 o'clock opening cannot accommodate them.
They should be going up to 9.
Lady, what I suggested to her, okay, you open 9 to 6. Why don't you change it to 11 to 8?
Right.
She keeps telling me, she kept repeating, anybody who was at that senior high, she kept repeating, I don't have the staff, I don't have some miss. I'm talking about the same staff. The staff that you have from 9 to 6, just once or twice a week the most, and have them do 11 to 8.
Right.
And all she kept saying is, here I don't have the staff. So it seems like really it's a problem in DPNR, because that's what libraries is under DPNR, that they really just don't want to make the adjustment.
They don't want to do nothing to help the young people to me. They just frauding the people.
I remember for Florence Williams Library is the only
library in the island of St. Croix operational. Okay? Which was the next thing because she said the mobile might be there, the completion of repairs soon, have it back on the road. So I asked her, well, will you station it in Frederickstead, near the fish market area, close to the light? Where the FedEx said, sure, I will be able to back. No, it got to go back on the road. That's what it's supposed to do. Outreach. I said, but until you can open back the light caches, they said, the library in Frederickstead hopefully will be opening around March or whatever next year. Okay? So I said, well, I have the book for me at least station in Frederickstead until you can open the Frederickstead library and then it'll go back on its house. How are you going to go outreach, but you got a full town of Frederickstead with it running on a library?
Hey, it's sad. Without vision, our people continue to perish. You put the dumber to tell the dumb, to tell who know what to do, and we got chaos all over the place. The blind leading who could see, the dumb speaking who could speak.
Not the children.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the call. Nice looking out. Keep listening. I'm going to talk about the distillery in Frederickstead that I see running dirty, contaminated something in the water, heading to the sea.
Well, careful with that one, because the point is they have not yet determined what the pollution is and where it's coming from. People are assuming, but supposedly there is some sewage situation in the neighborhood that could be that.
But I see them put some culvert out there to Mahogany Road too. Some smart, I want to know who the engineer who put them thing down there. Let them put down them. They should have put down bigger culvert. When the water come from up Mahogany Road, it gonna overrun them culvert.
And they never listen to the people who know. They always say the guy they went.
I see it for myself. And I'm an engineer.
I doubt you, because this is the problem we have all over the place.
They
never listen to the people who know how the drainage run, how the water comes off the hillside and where it goes and how it goes. They never listen. So, right.
All right, thank you for the call.
We got to keep fighting.
Yeah, nice looking out. You're welcome anytime. Yeah, Crystal. The money for SNAP, the governor said you're gonna give them half of the month. The governor, that's my boy, Governor Brian, my boy, gangster Brian, my boy, but I don't know sometimes. Look, I see a man showing the energy office where they wait till it's there before the man's supposed to work. The man don't sell anything them, get rid of his stuff up in the States, the up his apartment, he health insurance for his wife, everything, for them to tell the man he ain't getting the job again. The day before the man's supposed to go to work for them, the man don't do all the paperwork here, talking to them, and they squeeze the man like that. I wish I'm luck on that one. I got one thing to say because I got 10 minutes left. I ain't gonna beat the drum too much. Why people in the Virgin Islands believe that the store them is theirs when they only are employee? I would like to know, these people in the Virgin Islands, you are taking back something that they say you could bring back. The store policy say you could bring it back. And here this lunatic telling me, after the lady done make the transition so that I could get back my money on my credit card, this lunatic supposed to just take off the thing. The man gonna watch me and say, I do you a favor. I had to look at this video like this. Momo, we got these Momo working for the store. Believe the store thing is theirs. Mister, you're only an employee. I didn't put my tongue on you. I ain't gonna lie. I just asked it good, Mister, what's your name? Because he know I done the policy. Had an 800 number where you could call. I was gonna call it on him. I was waiting for you. Say, well, he said, oh, we ain't supposed to take it back, but I'm doing you a favor. Mister, this thing ain't cost 5 cents, and you don't do it for no favor. You could full attack, but full listen. This idiot thing that the store them is theirs. The store policy say you could return the product. I followed it and it was less than 60 days, maybe 30 days. I came back the product, the Momo tell me, but I just watch it. I said, boy, people in the boy, and I don't believe the story is there. And I have this guy. Let me say this. School children tell me the boy, the dog, and the cat when I walk in all in the morning. Because you know I'm up in age now and I can't run. My back bad, my ankle bad, my head bad. So the board and the fish by the boardwalk tell me we got government employee in St. Thomas. This man got a morning job and he going in the afternoon. I needed to stop. I need the friend them to tell you I know who he is. I know him by name. I know where he go work. I ain't exposing you yet. He need to quit his morning job, not because he got people in high places, because when I expose them and they go to the person in high places and what they gonna do? That he frauding the government right now. And to tell you the truth, his boss can't touch him either because he aligned with people in high places. So the boss is a coward. The boss singing for his supper. He can't correct the employee. This is the kind of thing when you got people who connected. But I want to make it known that I know, and I point it out there for him to correct it wrong. He's defrauding the government. Other people can't do it. Other people who working in the system with him don't like what he's doing because they ain't afford the opportunity to go to another job in the morning and come in the afternoon and still build the government for a full day work. I want it to stop. I know I don't come with here. I say propaganda. I got the facts. And I ain't gonna lie on nobody. I ain't coming here to mislead the public. Like when I see my governor, oh, they're saying that Stacey help you get the money, the 1350. I thought all of them were Democrat together. But I remember when Stacey was keeping her tongue hard meeting down in West, the governor had some meeting in the afternoon at the same time. And I was sitting in there when I see the thing come up, I like, wow, I even asked Stacey, I said, but Stacey, you announce your thing so long. And the governor here, the governor got something this afternoon too. She said, well, I had my, a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Foy. So I know them ain't on the same page. But please don't try to, I know election coming up, the school children say, the street talk with the school children, the dog, the fish, and the bird, them telling me, Stacey want to run for governor. And my boy Brian got his people and he want to run too. So if he says Stacey help you get the money, is the Republican them? Yes. The Republican them, because the Democrat them were there for years with Stacey and they won't give us the race. So they make themselves put her in that position. But somehow she had to be talking to someone of her, them colleague across the floor to ask them to help out. So my boy Brian putting licks on her. Anyway, I got 5 minutes left. It's a pleasure being here. I see my good friend Abdul done coming here already. He's setting up. I don't know what he talks to you about, but Crystal, what you want to talk about since you come home, what you observe, you got 5 minutes to talk, 4.5 minutes.
I just want to disillusion the claims that people of my generation have no interest in coming home. We have a lot of interest in coming home. We dream of being able to buy property, to invest in our home, to start programs, but there's a lot of individuals that serve as roadblocks to those dreams. And I think the audacity to make a statement to say someone my age would have to be prepared to work 2-3 jobs to make the same amount of money that I make in the States, and I should be okay with that. I should know how to work hard. I do work hard at the one job that pays me well for the money my parents have invested in my education. So there's no reason I should come home and belittle that investment to work 2-3 jobs to make the same amount of money where I'm valued at one company. Why am I not valued back home? Additionally, it's a disservice to us, all these high cost of living and these wages that don't match the high cost of living.
Oh, wait. I'm glad she just refreshed my memory, people. Wapa with the guy, you could imagine Wapa getting a contract out together what Zilla them fix. The ones that like the 4 brand new generator, these people need to be. I can't say it on the radio. They gain now. I just read the thing the other day when they had a meeting where they authorized some couple $100,000 for contract for the new generator. Them this thing is new generator, people. These people is criminal in the Virgin Islands and no accountability. These people got to be the dumbest set of incompetent donkey them around the world. Hello, it's sad. We just spending money, WAPA spending money like everybody blind. Everybody who touch the generator and got to be retarded. It's unbelievable. It's wrong. All these people want their hand grease. All these people get stiff neck and no accountability. Go ahead. We got 2 minutes left.
Yeah, so to all the individuals that are contributing to these, to the people that feel like it makes sense to only grease their hand and not think of the broader picture of the greater community, you're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing the rest of us a disservice. We have brilliant, brilliant minds. We have people around the world contributing to other nations, other companies that could be investing in the USVI prosperity, but there's nothing enticing for us to come home. And it's because we know to come home means we have to deal with people who lack accountability. We have to deal with people that when we bring solutions, because if it's still broken, they could get paid more to keep fixing the same problem. Right. They won't fix it. Why am I coming home to use my talents or have them wasted in such a manner when I can add value other places where it's actually appreciated? I feel like common sense is not common, but it's getting to a ridiculous point in the USVI where you cannot complain that, oh, this generation leaving, they ain't coming to invest in home, when if home would allow us to invest, we would love to come home. I promise you that. We would love to come home and invest our talents in our home. But the roadblocks that are very apparent have been here since I was a child. Education is still suffering. The roads still haven't been fixed. WAPA is still a monopoly, which should be illegal, but I will rest that down. And for whatever reason, we want to pollute our paradise. It don't make sense. And I feel like even without a degree, common sense should be a little bit more common. But that's my 2 cents. Well, and I'll see y'all next time.
Well, thank you for coming in with me today. Now you got a jet to go catch. Go back out again.
She better looking than before.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure being here. I have to thank Springer for affording me the opportunity for holding this show. I didn't come and hit too hard today. All I want is guy who working for government to stop defrauding the government and come to work. I want people in the Virgin Islands who don't own the company. Master house burning down here saying our house. Ain't our house. It's master house. And when you're supposed to be able to return something without question, and you got to lunatic. I just watched the lunatic. Mr. Give me a name, please. So he should have get a message. And I saying to myself, it's me, thank you, I was ready to just hit the number, the 800 number. I said, listen, I want a straight line to carpet for this lunatic. Because I bring it back I read the policy the night before, the return policy inside out. So I know, because I know people in the Virgin Islands like to say, give an excuse why they can't take it back. Anyway, thank you for the time. It was a pleasure being here. Abdul, I'm out.
No problem. Yeah.
Have a wonderful day.
She's still better looking than the
Okay.
All right, good to see you. Yeah. All right. Okay, folks, it's 1 o'clock now, and we'll be rolling in just a tick. No question about that at all. All right, and we just want to thank Mr. Foy for doing his bit and bringing things rolling. So what we're going to do now is get ourselves rolling just a wee bit and make absolutely sure that we are ready in as many ways as is possible. All right, well, let's see if we can get our little sick tune rolling. That would help. That's right, folks. Stick by me and I'll stick by you. Hello and welcome to WSTX's Community Digest. I'm Abdul Ali. I hope that all is well with you today. Let's go down memory lane and look at those folks upon whose shoulders WSTX radio stands today. We got Hazel and Edward Vickers and Raymond Higdon. They were the first owner of the station in May 1952. Station was housed then at Fort Louise, Augusta, and today WSTX 970 AM and 100.3 WSTX are located upstairs the post office in Gallows Bay, and they're run by Caledonia Communications and the Rames family. Thank you list is long, folks. It includes George Magoon O'Reilly, Randy Lugo, also known as Mango Jones, Sinclair Whoopia Williams, Rich Tutine, Bronco, Spider, the Carpenters, who changed the station call letters to WSTX, Walter Brunner, George Matthew in sales, Charles Hollywood Nibs, Bob Miller, Fred Clark for his daily commentaries, Dick Salter, the station manager, Rasa Isaiah, Tony Thomas is next door right now, 100.3, letting it out. And of course, the late Al Lynch, that's the guy that fixed me up. DJ Bloodstone, we're still waiting for you, Bloodstone. And of course, Mickey Phillip, Baby Jabuda, the late Chucky Hansen, Winston Nugent, late great Doc Peterson, Jonathan Cohen, Bettina Jules LaRock, Priscilla Hot Lips Presley, late great Dr. Holland Redfield, Barbara James Peterson, Chera Heiliger, Robert Moorhead, Harry Haywood, Violet Domino, the late Violet Domino, Pudding, the music man, Mean Dean, Norman John Baptiste, and of course Lon Dawson, Dimitri Copeman, Herb Schumbum, the engineer, Merle St. Amy out there in Williams Delight, been holding activities for children for the last 35 years. We appreciate your efforts, Bev. And of course, we got Beverly Bev Myers. Anytime I mention her name, my heart skips a beat. She's passed on. Maria Moorhead, Anthony Weeks, Lee Carl, Bully Peterson, he's passed on too. Doc James, Trevor James, West the Best, Neville James, Brother B, Ninja P, helps to fire up 100.3 FM. Arthur Joseph, the policeman, and of course the man with the Midas touch, Larry Snyder, Brother R, Jeremy Swan, Captain Melbourne Adams, Al Clark, Savida, the sportsman. We'll be hearing from him a little bit later. The late Neil Addy Utley, who started his career on WSTX when the station was WIVI. Melody Rames, G. Lazare James, Mean Dean, Robin Coco Walker, Chester Benjamin, Al Wiggins, the actor, Maria Chichi Haywood, Woody, Jessica Tutine, Bernard Dyer, we'll be hearing from him a little bit later on, Edward Brown, Dr. Edward Brown, Rafi Encarnacion, Bad Company, Dave Liber, better known as the Mystery Man, he passed on as well, Sharon Brownie Brown, Dr. Richard Brown, David Massey, Frank the Mongoose Wilsey, Alva McFarlane and his friend Rita Phillip, Rafi Encarnacion, Lady Chayla, Elmo James, and the late, great Alvin G., to name just a few. All right, well, you know, we just got to do the things that we have to do. And I think at this particular stage, we're going to bless the Virgin Islands once again. Well, you got it there, folks. A welcome for one and all. And not only are we interested in that, we like to also make sure that you understand the story because it all comes down to love. No question about that at all. And there's plenty of love in the Virgin Islands, no question about it. I trust that all is well with Ruth Vanterpool and St. Thomas, family of the late Aubrey Milligan. Uh, Milligan of Minnesota, Marie Lawrenson and her husband Lois Lawrenson down there in Wim, second shut-ins, the nurses, other healthcare providers, the Lions, the Toastmasters Club, the inmates, those at work today, teachers and support staff, parents, the youths, the retirees, the Men's and Women's Coalition, VIDVSAC, members of the Arab and Muslim communities, the VI government active workers, parent teachers associations, business owners, government officials, homeowner associations, taxi drivers, motorists, the churches, and those groups involved in enhancing the lives of Virgin Islanders, policemen and policewomen, taxi drivers, non-profit organizations, and senior citizens, and the like. Our goal here at WSTX is to utilize the Rotary Club's four-way test. 1, is it the truth? 2, is it fair to all concerned? 3, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And 4, will it be beneficial to all concerned? And I just want to say, folks, that the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers only and do not represent those of the management, staff, or owners of the station. We're free, folks. All that we have to do to maintain our freedom is to develop a sustainable freedom plan, an SFP. This calls for a willingness to forgive. Forgiveness is important. A recognition that blame is a part of the game. An understanding that the more you watch, the less you will see. We're all being watched, folks. And listening in as aid to conflict resolution. Understanding that you're no better than anyone else, and there is no one on the face of the earth any better than you are. And noting that we're all colored, folks. And finally, we're here to pass things on. So we should take the time out to watch what we're passing on. That's the name of the game. All right. Well, we'll be back shortly. All right, let me get a little idea of the lineup for today. All right, we're going to have a little news very shortly. And of course, we'll be talking to members of the leadership of the RT Park. That includes Ian Tomlinson, the board chair, Eric Saunier, the executive director of the RT Park, and Cindy Paul, who I would describe as a marketing expert who knows how to get the word out. All right, so we'll be dealing with that a little bit later on. And of course, we should be hearing from Dr. Bernard Dyer as well. He'll be calling in. All right, later on, we'll be talking to George Moore, president of the Golden Grove Property Owners Association, and he's going to provide upgrades with regard to upcoming elections. That's right, we're going to have some elections, man, and challenges that the homeowners face and the building of solutions to them. And Ted John Hope, he's not happy about some tariff matters, so we're going to hear from him as we go along as well. And a little bit later, towards around 3 o'clock, we should be hearing from Carl Knight at WAPA. That's right, that's the man who leads WAPA. We want to hear about the strategic plans in place in relation to the growth of the organization, given its current financial status, all right? And of course, those estimate payment bills, we'll be talking about those, see what's happening with those and meter reading. So that is going to be good. And solar panels as well, all right? And of course, we'll see how that goes. But for the moment, let me just bring you up to date with a couple items of news here, and we'll see how that rolls as we go along. All right. Yes, sir. Well, yesterday was the funeral for Freddie Fred Joseph, and it was at Friedensburg Moravian Church down there in Frederiksted, and it was an activity that had a big turnout. My estimation, that's just my estimation, 350 individuals or maybe even 400. And we were all had an opportunity to see Fred's body and look at him and see the smile that he had on his face, and to let him know that we're going to miss him along the way. And I got a booklet, and inside the booklet were a number of letters. And here's one I'm going to read to you. And this says, to the family of Brother Frederick Joseph, on behalf of my family, staff, and members of United Steel Workers of U.S. Virgin Islands, I extend my heartfelt condolences as you mourn the passing of Brother Frederick Joseph. Please accept our sincere sympathies for the loss of a man whose life work has made a lasting impact on the U.S. Virgin Islands and its labor community. Brother Joseph was more than just a labor leader. He was a mentor and a dedicated advocate for justice, equity, and dignity in the workplace. His unwavering commitment to the rights of unionized workers, his courageous fight for better wages and safer working conditions, and his passionate belief in the rights of every worker will always be remembered. During this time of sorrow, I pray that God may comfort and support each of you, his family, loved ones, and friends. May you find strength in the legacy he leaves behind and in the knowledge that his efforts have improved the lives of many. We also extend our gratitude to his wife, Amelia Joseph, for sharing him with us for so many years, allowing him to fight for the workers of the U.S. Virgin Islands. May his soul rest in eternal peace, and may his memory continue to inspire all who strive for a fairer and more just world. With this sympathy, Gerald Jerry Jackson, staff representative, so United Steel Workers of America. They have an office right over there in the Sunny Isles area. And that was what Jerry had to say. And I also got another note here from Daniel Flipper. He's the director of United Steel Workers District 9. And it says, first and foremost, on behalf of the U.S. International Executive Board, staff, support staff, and members of United Steel Workers District 9, I extend our heartfelt condolences, thoughts, and prayers to the family of Freddie Joseph. May the memories of a life lived for you and others bring you the peace and comfort you need. The Lord blesses us with people in our lives who make a difference, people who care and show their desire to help in all they do, people who believe in family, heritage, and that together lives community and the world can be better. Freddie Joseph exemplified that kind of purpose. He dedicated his life to improving the lives of working people, providing them with the tools and knowledge to achieve dignity, respect, and purpose in the workplace he represented. Freddie understood that helping workers also meant helping to improve the community, the Virgin Islands, and the world for all. Throughout his tenure as president of his local union, staff representative, and sub-director for the United Steel Workers, he held his loving wife and family in high regard. He always said they were the fountain that gave him the strength to serve the union and its members. Freddie Joseph lived a good, honorable, and productive life. Many lives are better because of him and his work. I and we are grateful for knowing, working with, and living with Freddie. Thank you to his family for sharing him with us, and may God bless Freddie and his entire Joseph family. In solidarity, Daniel Flipper, the director of the USW District 9. And there were several senators, several dignitaries at the activity, the church service, and the funeral per se. and we really appreciate all their efforts. One thing I would like to add is that I'm just very hopeful that the union, United Steelworkers, could get together and set up a scholarship in the name of Fred Joseph so that we could keep his memory and his work alive for a very, very long time. He's certainly very deserving of that. And whatever we can do to push that along, we would. And since we're with the labor side of things, I got a little note here which was passed on to me, and it's a note from Ira Hobson, acting president, Central Labor Council of the Virgin Islands. And it says here to presidents and vice presidents of the Virgin Islands, AFL-CIO, affiliated unions. And the subject is invitation to participate in the revitalization of the Central Labor Council and upcoming election. And it says, dear union leaders, warm greetings from the Central Labor Council of the Virgin Islands. I trust this message finds you in good health and high spirits. As you're aware, the CLC is currently undertaking a vital initiative to revitalize and restructure our organization to better serve the working people of the Virgin Islands. This effort is rooted in our commitment to solidarity, unity, and effective representation across all affiliated unions. In accordance with the CLC bylaws attached for your reference, each union is required to appoint delegates to participate in the nomination election process for the CLC Executive Board. Your union's active involvement is essential to ensuring a representative and dynamic leadership team. We are hereby inviting each AFL/CIO affiliated union to take part in this revitalization effort by nominating individuals from within your ranks who are capable, committed, and willing to serve. And the following positions are open for nomination. That's the president, vice president, second vice president, third vice president, secretary, treasurer, and 4 presidents at large. And to ensure territorial balance, if the elected president is from St. Croix, the vice president shall be from St. Thomas and vice versa. And here's some key dates. It says here, nomination meeting scheduled for mid-October, exact date to be announced. Election 2 weeks following the nomination period, and that will be in November. And there will be an in-person election. We urge each union to begin preparations for delegate selection and candidate nomination. Your participation is not only a requirement, it is a powerful statement of unity and commitment to the future of labor in the Virgin Islands. Let us move forward together in solidarity towards a stronger, more unified labor movement. Thank you for your continued support. Respectfully submitted, Ira Hobson. And he is, of course, the acting president, Central Labor Council of the Virgin Islands. So that is just part of the mix at the moment, and we certainly hope that things work out very nicely. All right, well, we're going to be back in just a tick. That's right, folks. Make sure you get enough sleep. All right. All right. Well, we had a really wonderful activity last night. I say we, but this was really in relation to uh, the activity done by the Rotary Club. Yes, World Polio Day, and that was over at the amphitheater there in Sunny Isles. A lot of individuals were there, and we were really very, very uh, excited to hear from some youngsters from schools because they were putting on a little bit of a competition to, or were taking part in a competition that was just very, very meaningful. And the Cheru Ross was one of the individuals who was organizing the activity. And we had a teacher there, Florencia Mash, and she really had some youngsters from the schools who were doing extremely well. And it also, it says she brought 7 impressive entrants from the St. Croix Educational Complex High School, and 3 of the talented students rose to the top. And so I'll tell you what the winners were. The first place goes to Jen, Jennec, Rajette, Ragguette, and congratulations to her. Second place to Jaylene Clark, and the third place to Analia Fleming. So those were the individuals. They got up and wrote some poetry in connection with the whole business of polio and what's happening with it at this particular stage. And we know for a fact that it's really just a couple of countries. Afghanistan, I think, is one that still has polio. But one of the things that I really did learn at the activity was that Rotary is a very, very, very active club. And I left feeling in my mind that, yeah, it's a World Polio Day, but I think we should also think about having a Rotary Day as well, because it's been a very, very active organization. There is no question about that at all. As a matter of fact, on St. Croix, you got the Rotary Club of St. Croix, and we had, let's just see, Dr. Kathleen Chwitt gave some remarks about that. And that club, let's see, I think that started 67 years ago and still active. That's really very good. Rotary Club of St. Croix West Side. And we had Sandra Satori. She came and gave some words about that. That started in 1968. I'm looking at my notes here. And Rotary Club of St. Croix Mid-Isle, 1988. And then Rotary Club of Harborside, 1996. So you see, it's a very, very active organization. And I really like the questions that they ask. You know, is it fair? Is it going to be of help to our community as a whole? I think that that's really so good, and we should try to keep Rotary going for as long as it is humanly possible. So we will see how things go. All right. Well, we are supposed to be hearing from some people from the RT Park. I hope they've been able to find the studio, because sometimes individuals just have a little difficulty with that from time to time, but we will see how things go. So let me bring you up to date with some other things. It says the U.S. Virgin Islands Office of Disaster Recovery. Okay, we got an incoming call here. Let's just see. I'm going to hit this and see. Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ali.
Oh, yes, fine. Yeah, I haven't seen. Hold on a minute there, Mr. Dyer, because maybe those folks. Mhm. Hello, Abdul Ali. Yes, Sydney, we're waiting for you upstairs. You come up the stairs. Oh, the doors, you push the door? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, I'm going to all right, thanks. Okay. All right.
Good morning.
Yeah, okay, make yourself comfortable there.
Use the bathroom first.
Huh?
Use the bathroom.
Sure,
first.
yeah, go ahead, man. Use whatever you want. No problem at all.
Chairman Tomlinson just told me to let him know when to call in.
Yeah, okay, lovely. All right, wait, let me see. I have Mr. Dyer?
Yes, Mr. Ali.
Yeah, good, lovely. All right. Well, we're working along here. We had a little door issue, but
Yes, I apologize.
yeah, no problem at all. But we
Is there a specific line that Chairman Tomlinson should call into? You had given
well,
two numbers.
yeah, well, try what line are you on, Bernard? 030 or 0490?
0490.
You're on, okay, well, he could try 0390.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to see what I could do here, Sydney,
Mhm.
to do a little thing and try to get the calls linked together.
Sure.
So that we have Mr. Dyer in, and we also have. All right. Well, we're just waiting for just a quick second, and to get ourselves to. So is he calling now?
He should be calling now. Yes.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay, Mr. Dyer. Hold on. Let me see if I could try this little trick that told me to try. And so I'm going to put you on hold, and then I'll get the other call. Make sure that we have Mr. Tomlinson, right?
Tomlinson. Yes.
Yes.
That's right. The
Yeah.
power of technology, Mr. Ali.
What-
It'll work out.
Yeah. Hold on.